Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan, and today I'm going to be doing a flip through of my journal for Junk Journal July. And I've been kind of working on this the past couple weeks, and I went ahead, I've done the first week of the prompts, so I'm just gonna kind of go over those, what I've done so far, and then I'm going to try to film from this point on each day the prompts. So we'll see how that goes. Sometimes it can be a little daunting filming every single day. So yeah, this is just an altered book. I picked it because I loved the texture of the cover and the color. I don't know why I was drawn to it, but that's kind of where it started. And if you watched my last video about the junk journals that I've been making, I kind of explained how I did it, but basically I just pulled out huge signatures in the book itself, and then I pulled out, significant chunks of the signatures, and then I left a few pages on either side, because then it creates this little valley where you can just stick your signatures right in, and I just glued them in. I sewed my signatures together. I'll show you here. There we go. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but I used black thread and I just sewed the signatures together. I think for this book I had 3 to 4 signatures or papers per signature, just because it's a journal I'm only going to use for a month, and so I didn't need like a ton of pages. But yeah, so I sewed the signatures together and then just glued them down into the little valleys that were created by pulling those. Oh goodness, struggling here. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit there. So by pulling out a whole signature, it left little valleys, perfect for fitting these signatures down in and gluing them in. So on the cover here, I do have everything glued down. I was gonna leave this tag loose, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't want it to get lost. So I went ahead and glued everything down. I had a lot of fun with this cover. It started with this ribbon fabric here, this kind of mauve color with the blue flowers. They were perfect for the blue of the book. And I just went ahead and sewed 2 pieces of the ribbon together. And it's a fabric ribbon, so it's not like, shiny or anything. And then I sewed this little piece of trim on here, glued the fabric down to the book, added some lace here for just, to kind of decoration. And because it felt like the back was really plain. And then there's my cover. So I'm trying to think here. I believe that these 2 digitals came from my porch prints. I made this blue flower on Canva because I didn't have anything that was the color that I needed to kind of blend with the florals here and the colors and stuff. So I just went ahead and made my own on Canva. So this butterfly is either my porch prints or Calico Collage, and I'll have all the shops and stuff linked below for you. And then this little kind of text paper under here was also my porch prints. So, and then I had just tea dyed a doily, and that was the base for the front of the book. So, all right, so here's the first, the inside cover. So this is some tissue paper that I glued down. I'm not quite sure what I want to do on the inside of this yet, so I've just left it blank. I figured I'll get to that later. And then I wanted to create some pockets up in the front here. The first thing I did was to glue down a book page on the inside cover. And then in the pocket here, I have this card that I made for Junk Journal July with all the prompts on it. And it just has a book page on the back to kind of give it some strength. And then I have this coloring sheet in here that I want to color. That'd be really pretty. This fabric here, I don't know if it's a, got a string here, look at me. I don't know if it's like, it came in a set. It's almost like little handkerchiefs, but, and then there was like longer ones too. So I'm not quite sure what those are, but I got them at the thrift store for 50 cents and I loved them. So I started by gluing that down to make a pocket, folded it over, glued that down, and then took this lace and made another pocket. So you actually have that back pocket there and then this one up front here. So I don't have anything in it yet. I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but it's there for when I want to stick something in there. So, and then like I said, I'll figure this out later. I just kind of wasn't sure. So, and then you flip the page. I've got another book page glued down that I just did some stenciling on. I've got this fun crossword or word search from, these both are from Calico Collage. This one is too, the butterfly. And then this pocket that came in the journal kit. So then I just glued that one down and stuck that in there. So this is a pocket here. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to put in there, but again, you know, I want to leave myself options and then I can go in and add things later if I want. Kind of the fun of doing these books is that you can just make it what you want. So I took a piece of cheesecloth and a denim, a little scrap of denim that I had left over from a journal that I made last year with a pair of my husband's old jeans that were kind of getting holey and stuff. And so I snatched those. I'm like, oh, yes, please, I will use those. And so glued that down and then just put the butterfly on top. This lace is just some lace that I had left over from the thrift store. So yeah, I've got that pocket there that I can add whatever I need. And then this is just blank, but I feel like, you know, because I did the first prompt on this page, you know, this is matching scrapbook paper that I had a scrap of. So I glued that down and then used some more of the other paper to frame this little saying here. The first prompt for Junk Journal July was begin. And so this quote just says, there will come a time when you believe everything is finished. That will be the beginning. And then this stamp here is from Linda Israel. It's kind of nice because it has the lines built in so that you can journal on it. This is just a stamp from a set that I got from the thrift store, butterflies. And then I think this one is too, because it's that, they're acrylic stamps, but they're really textured, which is probably hard to see on camera, but it just kind of gives it like a denim sort of texture. So put that glued down. And then, yeah, so this is just the back side of this coloring page that I added. Again, I want to go in and color it. Just gonna add some fun things. And then it's kind of hard to get this all in frame here, but this is just tissue paper that I got from the Dollar Tree. I glued that down and just thought it was really pretty. And I don't have anything on this page yet. Again, I left it open. I'll go back and do something. I'm just not quite sure yet what I want to do. So got this bent over here. All right, and then the prompt for day 2 was reinvent. And what I did is, or what I'm doing is I have this little set of stamps that, make sure I'm in frame here. There we go. Okay. It is uppercase and lowercase and numbers, and then like all of the like apostrophe and commas and stuff like that. So I am doing the prompt with either that or my those rolly date stamp things that you can get. These things, I'm not sure what they're called, but I got this one from Amazon. And I will have, so my Amazon list will always be linked below, so that all of my planner and journal stuff that I get from Amazon, I will just add to that list as I go. So you can always find any of those items in that list below in the description box. So yeah, so reinvent, that was the prompt for that day. So I'm including the prompt and then the number of that prompt for that day. This was a tag, well, not really a tag. It was like it was a set of Tim Holtz jump rings, and you know how it comes, things will come like in a plastic little container thing with the cardboard on the back of it, and then you peel it off. So it's kind of hard to explain. I hope that makes sense. So I used that to make a tag, and then I just glued down some of this textured paper that I had, some scraps. I'm trying to use up scraps, and I have this little bin here that has a lot of different scraps in it, but my actual scrap bin is about twice that big, and it's chock full. So yeah, trying to use up those scraps. So that's where this little piece of texture paper came from. Then this is more of that lace that I had used before. I've got some fabric scraps here that I just used to tie. So as I was making the tie, this little part on the top ripped. So I stapled it down, and I was like, well, it's just gonna have to be good enough because I can't fix it any better than I tried to glue it. It just was not happening. So yeah, it's a junk journal, right? So it's supposed to be messy. And then this butterfly, I can't remember if this is porch prints or I think it is. It's either that or calico collage. And then I just took some cheesecloth, some more of that denim fabric from my husband's jeans, and the blue, you know, just vibes here. And then a piece of scrap paper that I stamped the Reinvent for the prompt on there. This paper that I used here is from my Patreon collage sheets from, I think it was from May. This is a picture from my yard. These little flowers, little chickweed flowers here. I absolutely adore them, even though they're a weed, but they're beautiful. So I had taken a picture of that and used it, gave it to my patrons for the collage sheets for May. And it was really fun. I've been enjoying sharing my photographs with my patrons and seeing how they use them in their journals. So it's been really fun. And then I went ahead and attached, I was going to do a pocket, but then I was like, oh, I don't, you know, then it's going to cover this up, and I don't want to do that. So I just went ahead and glued it down to the page. So, and with this, you know, top of this tag being janky, I didn't really want it to break again. So, and then here's the back of that page. This is the third prompt, which was layered tag, which was funny because I didn't really look ahead at the prompts, but you know, I did a tag here, which is layered tag. And then the next prompt was layered tag. So I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna do this. So, oh, and the reason I chose, so the Reinvent was that I used a piece of garbage basically to make a tag. And then I thought the butterfly went well because that's what butterflies do, right? They reinvent themselves. Well, caterpillars reinvent themselves and turn into beautiful butterflies. So, and then, yeah, so this page here, this is a dry cleaning tag that I made, or that I coffee dyed. And then I just made this a tuck spot, and I don't have anything in there right now, but again, left it open for future. And then, so this is the back of that photograph. What I did is I just took some different scraps, tissue paper, book pages I had left over, just different scraps, and just kind of collaged the back of it. And then I glued this down to make this tuck spot. This really pretty fringed rickrack stuff here I got from the thrift store. I got a huge bag of trim type things for $1, and it was like a gallon size baggie. And that was one of the things that was in there, like a whole roll of that. And then this blue fabric or blue ribbon here was in there too. And then this is just the top of the tag that was already attached to it. So yeah, then just made a tuck spot. Got this paper here from Calico Collage, and which is the same as this set here. So I think it's called, oh shoot, I don't want to say, I can't remember. But I'll have her shop linked below, and I will have the exact kit that I used linked as well. This is a flower from the Dollar Tree, from a set from the Dollar Tree. Love them. They're beautiful and textured, and they just kind of pop off the page because they're three-dimensional, so I love that. And then this is just a dragonfly sticker flake that I had left over from my Patreon Happy Mail that I sent out. And then I made the little prompt label. It's the word I'm looking for, on just a little, I have these little tiny notebook, or they're just little pads that are like tear-off sheets, and they are super tiny. So this one was one of them, and then this here, they're like miniature ledger paper and different things like that, book pages and stuff. They're just shrunk down really small. I love them. So I glued that one down here, and then it's just a extra piece of book page, and then this layered tag there, and then there's the number 3. So, and for the next prompt here, the prompt was transparency, and I had this piece of junk mail. It's an envelope that I cut down and made it into like a little window using the clear window, I guess, that the envelopes have. Had some scraps of that paper, again, from the same kit here. And this quote that I got, I think from Pocket Journal Pam's Patreon Happy Mail from a couple months ago. I just kind of put that in there, glued it down, and then added some different things up here to kind of fill in the blanks, because this was a little bit too short for the window, and you could see the back of the envelope, or the inside of the envelope. So I got those layered inside there. I got this washi tape here that I just tore and layered it on the side, and then the butterfly from that kit. This image here is from that kit from Calico Collage as well. So this is just a little scrap of some canvas that I used to make a junk journal. And then this is a tuck spot here that you can put stuff if you want. So again, just to kind of show you here that it does go the full length of that envelope. So it's pretty good sized pocket. And I'm sure I'll get something added to that at some point, but oops, a little scrap of twine there. But yeah, so had fun with that page. Then number 5 prompt was fold out, and I had just done a little bit of collaging here with some papers, just different scraps that I had. And then I got this roll of burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I started by gluing that down, and I left it open so that there's a pocket there. Got this black lace here on the side, and then this I don't really know what you would call this. It's kind of like a card, I guess. This was from a set of cards that I got from AliExpress like 4 years ago. I found it I had put a bunch of stuff in a bin that I hadn't used, and I was kind of cleaning things out and stuff, and I had put a bunch of things in there, and I decided to sort through that, and I found this one. And so I wanted to use this to make the fold out. I used some washi tape to hold it together. And then this is a word search from Calico Collage again. And just glued down some tea-dyed notebook paper there. This was another piece from that bag of trim rickrack things that I got from the thrift store. So I glued that down. I wanted to kind of bring out the blue background of this word search here, just to kind of make everything flow together. But then what I liked too is when you look at this page, it's very, very neutral. And then when you open this, it's colorful, and I just really liked that. So this is an image from that same kit from Calico Collage. And I left this kind of overhang, and I'm not quite sure if I should cut it off or not. So I've just left it for now. Yeah, I guess we'll see. This does not flip. I mean, you could, but I don't want to force it because I did have to glue it down to get it to stay onto that burlap. But there is a pocket back here. So just to show you, you can use that pocket there, which I kind of liked. Little hidden spot. I can do some journaling or whatever. And it's, yeah, good sized pocket there. So, yeah, so there's that page. Fold out, and then I hid the number 5 here in these flowers, so there. And then this is the middle of this particular signature, and I did make a couple pockets here. I haven't glued them down yet on the sides because I just wasn't quite sure you know, if I wanted to do that or just leave them open. And I may go back in and do something on the pockets here, and maybe a tag. I don't know what I want to do, but I'm really undecided on that one. So this prompt here was day 6. Symmetry is the prompt. And what I did is I took some napkins, glued them down to the paper on both sides, and then I glued down this butterfly here on both sides equally. So symmetry is hard for me because I don't like things to be perfect, and because then I feel like, well, then I feel like they have to be perfect, right? And so this was a difficult page for me, and I haven't done, you know, anything else on it just because I wasn't quite sure. But the thing that I like about this is it's kind of my take on symmetry. And even though, you know, symmetry is like the mirror image of something, if you notice, they don't exactly line up. And I kind of like that because to me, I don't know, I guess it's just my interpretation of it. But anyway, so that is how that one turned out. And I don't know, I used Mod Podge on it. It's this matte, the matte one, and it's still kind of sticky. And I'm not quite sure if I need to use something different. I don't know. I thought you could use Mod Podge to do these napkins, but it did not. It's still really kind of sticky, and it's several days, obviously several days old. So I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in a comment below if I should use something different. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe go in with some kind of sealer. I don't know, because it tends to kind of stick to itself. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, let me know if you have a solution for that. What else was I gonna, oh, the napkins came from the Dollar Tree, and I thought they were just really pretty. So, and here is the next prompt, and this is day 7. The prompt was Bouquet. Again, I just had a book page here that I glued down to the actual page of the book, and again, went to my scrap bin. I had some of this tissue paper left over from a Happy Planner box that I had gotten in February. And this is more of that scrapbook paper from the front, one of the prompts I did in the front. So I glued that down at the bottom, and then had more of that tissue paper I glued down on this. This brown color tissue paper is just one that I glued down. Now for this one, I didn't do, actually for all this tissue paper, I just used a glue stick because this was making me nervous how sticky it was still. So I just used a regular glue stick to stick that down. And with this, there's a texture, like you can feel the texture of the napkin, and maybe that's normal, I don't know. This is the first time that I had done a napkin on a book page. But with this tissue paper, like there is no texture. So this one, there's a little bit just because I wasn't super good at getting it smoothed out, so it got kind of wrinkly. Anyway, so yes, that's how I did that. And then I got this quote here that I just printed out. So, and then this is a tuck spot here. I had this, another quote here that I printed out on some book page or some paper, and then glued it down to a book page just to kind of make it a little more sturdy. And then I used this fabric from my scraps to make a little tag. So that goes in there. It was drying the other day, so I didn't have a chance to get that stuck in there yet. So it goes like that. And then I used this twine here to make a little tie around. I just punched a couple small holes in the image and threaded it through and tied a bow. This is just from a book, from a gardening book that I had gone through and kind of cut out some really pretty images. More of that fabric scrap here, and then some cheesecloth, and this tag is from, I think, My Porch Prints. And then again, I just used those little stamps to stamp that out. They're those little wooden stamp blocks. They look like this. So really handy to have that like that. So yeah, so there's page 7, and then that brings us up to the current day. So I'm gonna go ahead and do number 8, prompt number 8, which is wallpaper. So that'll be interesting because I don't have any wallpaper, so I'm gonna have to get creative. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that in a separate video. Like I said, I'm gonna try to film every day, the prompts every day, and kind of just get those pages done. So, and then this is obviously the back of that picture that I had taken of the chickweed in that signature, and then that's the end of the first signature. So, and I think, like I said, I have one page here in between the signatures, and kind of what I've been doing is just gluing down paper on top of it, paint it, whatever, and use that as an actual page. So, and then just to do a quick little flip through of the pages I have in here for my signatures. This is just from a booklet that was in with this ledger paper and some other paper at the thrift store for $1. So I grabbed that. I thought, well, that's kind of something different. I liked the size of it. So this is from an image that I got in Happy Mail from Pocket Journal Pam. And it's just a book page from a magazine. But I liked the texture of it because it's like a book page, not like slick magazine material. So there's the back of that, your ledger paper, and then the back of that one. So this one has 2 pages. Oh, that's right. Each signature, there's 2 pages between them. So that's right. I forgot that. Okay. And then here is the next signature. I just got some paper that I coffee dyed in here. I put this one kind of slanted just to give it a little bit of interest. Another book page here, and same with this one. Just I glued in, they were still stuck together, so I just went ahead and sewed them together to make one page, so, or a spread. So here's the back of that one, and this one. 2 book pages. These are, so this is from those acrylic stamps that I got from the dollar, or from the thrift store that I was talking about, with the butterfly and this little swirly guy here. This is the brand. And I loved this blue paper, so I wanted to include that. It was going to get thrown away, and I thought, well, I can use that. And it's really pretty, so I'm just going to cover up this white part with something and utilize that. So I thought that was really pretty. And then this is just the back. So got more coffee dyed copy paper. This is from Happy Mail from Pocket Journal Pam, and it's a very thin, almost like tissue paper type material, and I thought that was different, kind of gave it some interest. This grid paper here. Here's the other side of that, so it's like a runner's tag or whatever. There's the coffee dyed paper, and then the back of that packaging from the stamps, which, yeah, just cover that up. So I've got 2 more book pages, and then I think this is the last signature. Yep. So, like I said, I tried to do 3 to 4 pages per signature just to not make it huge, because I obviously don't need, I only need a month of pages. So. And there you go. There's the back of the book. So that is my junk journal for the month of July. And I'm trying to figure out my closure. I had some fabric that I was going to use just to kind of tie around it, but it covers up all this stuff on the front, which I don't like that. So I don't know what I want to do, but it does need some sort of closure to keep it, you know, kind of held down, because it's obviously, you know, kind of opening just because I've gotten a lot of stuff in it already. It's getting thick. And if you know me, all of my journals are very, very chunky, so no surprise there. So I do need to figure out some kind of closure. If you have any suggestions, I would love them. So put them in a comment below, or you can reach out to me on Instagram too. But I've seen some people do like an elastic cord, but I don't know like what to use to attach it. So, and I don't know whether I have a crocodile that I can use to punch holes, but I don't know if it'll go through this book cover. It's pretty thick, so I don't know. We're kind of up in the air on the closure, so we'll see. Anyway, if you do have any ideas, I would love them. So, all right, that is going to do it for this flip through. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.